Knowledge management is a relatively new concept in the United States, and it may be as foreign as the foreign countries that are perfecting it. The pressure is on to find ways to access, retain, develop, and use critical knowledge and expertise. The Society is moving down the path of pursuing a knowledge management system and is currently exploring the feasibility of implementation.
David Griffiths from the University of Edinburgh and also from K3 Cube Limited, which is a startup company from the university. We are seen as knowledge management experts, but really we do knowledge and learning and development, threat diagnostics for organizations. It is one of those things that knowledge management exists as a response to something. One of the things that we hear is that how do we improve knowledge sharing? The question is why? Why do you want to improve knowledge sharing? Why do you want to do knowledge management? There's a pain point. There is something strategic or operationally that is causing the organization some sort of pain, and you are looking for a response. So when people turn around to us and say, how do you do knowledge management? How do we improve knowledge sharing? The first thing we want to know is, why are you doing it in the first place? When we can start to strip that back and we start to understand that rationale of why, now we can start to talk about an appropriate response. This is very much about how you store and acquire, share, develop, and use knowledge resources in your organization. And when we're talking about storing and acquiring, it sounds very as if we're talking IT. We're not. We're talking about how do you embed knowledge, and that can mean just connecting people and diffusing knowledge through a wider base of the organization instead of only having it reside in one or two people.
The Society is working with Griffiths and his KNET colleagues from the University of Edinburgh in Scotland to formulate a vision, mission, and goal for a knowledge management strategy. Many believe that knowledge management is a way that people will be learning in the future and could be a piece of a future competency-based professional development model. It ties in with the new CPE standards for improving professional competence, and it links with the CGMA Virtual Me, an online platform to maintain and enhance competencies. It also fits with the Society's value proposition, as well as several of the Society's and staff core values.
And what we've done is really try and strip things back to a blank sheet of paper. And going back to that question on why do we need knowledge management? What are the actual triggers? And from there, we've started to, we've had focus groups. We've seen some of the interview data that's been collected by other universities that have come in. We're doing things like awareness raising sessions. We've got a symposium that we're doing. The University of Edinburgh does a knowledge management certificate, so we're starting to run that certificate for staff. We're doing the educators conference. We're then coming back again in May, back again in July to continue the work. What we're interested in is what's happening in the wider environment, what's impacting an organization. As I've already said, it's one of those things that the future competitive advantage of organizations is moving towards a knowledge advantage. If we look at it, we are in a situation where more and more work is moving offshore. We are in a situation where more technical knowledge, the more procedural type knowledge, we're looking at automated solutions, software-based solutions. And when we look at high knowledge intensity positions, that managerial knowledge, those type of decisions, the type of support with accounting and auditing, that actually that knowledge can come from overseas, that we really have a danger that we are seeing a shift where we've got high demand. Now we want to know that we're making the best decision possible, that we're making right project management decisions, that when we're looking at investing, if we're market seeking, we want data, we want to know the numbers behind it, we want to know what the potential return is. And that's where we're seeing the statistics coming out of the Department of Labour and Statistics for accounting and auditing. We're seeing an increase in demand, but the problem is that we're also seeing that the quality needs to be there as well, and there's a question mark whether that quality is there. So the future is looking at what the signals in the environment are telling us and understanding how that could impact us, and then being reactive to that emergent environment instead of just looking at it as what's happening here and now today and how do we respond.